When people vote, the biggest challenge for those running the election is to prove that the candidates who lost actually lost. In paper-based elections worldwide, a process has been in place for 150 years so that those concerned about the conduct of the election can really see what is going on and be satisfied with the results. As populations have grown and as other government paper processes have been automated with computers, electronic voting has been created.
You have chosen Susan.
This has led to many improvements in elections. For example, computers can help people who cannot read to mark the ballot. Votes collected with computers can be counted electronically.
Susan wins.
However, this has created new risks. Actually proving to Jamie that he did not win becomes very difficult because the votes are not on paper. Casting a paper vote is very simple. It is obvious the vote has made it into the box. Casting an electronic vote with the same level of safety as the paper vote has been described as the hardest transaction to automate in all of computer science. The electronic vote must be protected for transport, so it cannot be read or changed, and it must be impossible to connect the voter with this vote. And like the security of the ballot box padlock, it must be possible to prove the vote is secret, safe, and private. Unfortunately, because we are attempting so many things together, electronic voting is most susceptible to system bugs, failures, and malfeasance at this particular point. So, in order to prove to Jamie that he definitely did not win, some electronic voting systems have had to reintroduce the election steps of the paper system. For example, some voting computers send the vote electronically but also print out a paper copy. This is a form of verification because the voter has something meaningful to check. If the paper copy is wrong, she can see it herself and alert others. This also reintroduces some of the constraints of paper voting. Namely, you need to be able to read to confirm the printout is the same as that on the screen. And this printed ballot cannot be taken away by the voter as a receipt. It must stay at the polling place because the voter's vote must remain secret from others. To prove to Jamie the computers have done the right thing, some of the computers are chosen for an audit, and the printouts are hand-counted to confirm they match totals reported by that computer. Unfortunately, this means elections now run both paper and electronic processes, and that makes everything even more complex. It would be better if the system could be all electronic, but with convincing proof that the computer has operated correctly. This is where Coasca comes in. Coasca is a voting system that changes the way electronic votes are cast, so that capture of votes is simpler and safer and can be more easily proven to the voter without having to do both paper and electronic ballots. Coasca does use some paper receipts for verification, but they can be optionally discarded by the voter. Coasca creates a temporary list of the election candidate names in a shuffled order. This order is different for each voter, and only the voter sees this order. The voting computer reads this order. The computer prints a voting receipt. The receipt is the voter's choices, but in the shuffled order. Even though the voters saw the official ballot order on screen, here they verify their vote is correct, even with a list of shuffled names. The list of names is destroyed, so it remains a secret. The printed receipt can be taken home by the voter. Missing the shuffled names, the receipt does not reveal to anyone else how the voter actually voted. A code on the receipt allows the electoral authority to reorder the receipt back to the legal ballot order, which then reveals the vote for counting. A copy of the receipt is taken by the computer and sent to the central system. However, this time, the networks are not carrying votes, just receipts. Our voter can go home and look up her receipt to confirm it is among those on the central system. She can also examine the receipt, which is signed, to confirm it has been recorded by the electoral authority. At the end of the election, observers and the election authority provide devices that cooperate to reveal the shuffle orders, allowing the reordering of those receipts back to countable votes. How does Coasca actually show that all the votes got recorded as the voters wanted and that all the recorded votes got processed and included in the count without any votes changing. Let's vote, this time with some trouble thrown in. We will see how it is impossible for loss or damage to occur undetected. The list of shuffled candidate names, which is how Coasca protects the final vote, can be examined to confirm that it is an official list. This is similar to the way paper ballots are securely printed and checked before an election. These lists are made well before the election. A selection of them is audited to make sure the shuffled order can be undone correctly back to the legal order. It is not possible for this voting system to create more electronic ballots during the election than those that were made in advance of the election. The list of shuffled candidate names can be audited by the voter in case the voter does not believe the displayed order of the candidate is correct, or that the order in the QR code may be different. However, the challenged list cannot now be used to vote because its order is no longer a secret. So the voter gets another list and can vote with it or challenge that list as well. This can be repeated as many times as the voter wants. Finally, the voter is confident the ballots are correct. The voting receipt can be electronically examined to confirm it has been centrally recorded by the electoral authority as cast. All the receipts can be observed on the network. They can be observed at the central location. No one can see the actual votes. No encryption of the network is needed because the receipts already protect the votes. In fact, the central location is just a public website. All the receipts are made public. A day's set of receipts is signed as a batch. Voters and anyone can look up individual receipts in a batch. The voter can compare this to her printed receipt to confirm her vote is unchanged and remains amongst those collected. Voters checking are very likely to find any lost or damaged receipts. Unless there are any reported issues,